Why does learning a new language feel so difficult? We all learned how to speak when we were babies, and we did it effortlessly. But somewhere along the way, we were taught to forget the natural way of learning. Schools force us to memorize rules, analyze complicated grammar, and follow rigid methods. But real language learning doesn't happen in a classroom. It happens in the world, through immersion and practice. Babies are proof of that. No classes, no flashcards, no pressure. They become fluent in just a few years. So why don't we learn like that? The key is understanding how our brains naturally absorb language. And I'm going to show you how to tap into that process. Forget the textbooks and grammar books. There's a better way to learn, and I'm going to share it with you. Let's start with grammar. It's not your friend. It's the villain of your language journey. Here's why. Grammar doesn't help you speak fluently. In fact, it can hold you back. The more you focus on grammar, the more you overthink when you speak. And when you're in a conversation, the last thing you need is to be overthinking every sentence. You want to speak naturally, right? Imagine this. Would you try to learn how to ride a bike by reading manuals for 6 months before ever getting on one? Of course not. You'd hop on the bike and start riding. That's exactly how you should approach learning a language. Forget perfect grammar at first. No one's going to judge you for making mistakes. They just want to hear you speak and understand you. When you're trying to order coffee or ask for directions, they're not checking your grammar. They're seeing if you can get your point across. So here's the rule. Forget grammar in the beginning. You'll naturally pick it up as you go along. But if grammar isn't the key, what is? Here's the surprising answer. Put yourself in a position where you understand absolutely nothing at first. It might sound strange, but this is exactly how babies learn. They don't know anything at first, and that's what makes them such efficient learners. They pick up context, tone, and repetition without even thinking about it. That's why they become fluent. You need to do the same thing. Immerse yourself in the language, even if it's overwhelming at first. This is where the magic happens. Start watching shows, listening to music, and listening to podcasts in your target language. Don't worry about translating everything right away. In fact, don't translate it all in the beginning. If you hear something you don't understand, pause, look it up, and move on. The more you do this, the more your brain starts to recognize patterns and build connections without you realizing it. At first, it might feel like chaos. You won't understand much, and that's okay. Your brain loves patterns, and it's already working in the background to figure things out. Trust the process. Sure, you'll make mistakes. You might ask for 10 beers instead of a glass of water. Hilarious, right? But guess what? That mistake is gold. It's a moment you'll never forget, and it helps you learn faster than any textbook ever could. You may find yourself understanding the language more and more. But what about speaking? Speaking can feel like the hardest part, but here's the truth. The key to fluency is speaking. And guess what? You don't need to wait until you know the language perfectly. You'll never feel ready. The trick is to start speaking from day one. Even if you're just mimicking phrases or talking to yourself, do it. When you learn a new word, imagine yourself using it in a real-life situation. The more you practice this, the more natural it will feel. And here's something amazing. Your brain doesn't know the difference between practicing and actually doing something. So when you practice in your head, it's like you're speaking in real life. Sounds weird, right? But it works. Don't be afraid to sound like a toddler. Toddlers don't care about perfection, and that's why they learn so quickly. They practice without feeling awkward. They try, they fail, and they keep trying. You need to do the same. And speaking of perfection, perfectionism is the enemy. No one is grading you. The only person judging your accent is the voice in your head. But guess what? The voice in your head isn't helpful. It's just holding you back. So stop trying to sound perfect. Instead, focus on communicating. Language is about connection, not perfection. But speaking is only one part of the puzzle. To truly make progress, you need to make language learning a habit. Do something in your target language every day, no matter how small. Watch a YouTube video. Read a few sentences. Write a message to a friend. The key is consistency. The trick isn't to sit down for hours once a week and cram information. The trick is to integrate the language into your daily life. Think about it. Breathing isn't something you do once and call it a day. You breathe every second of every day without even thinking about it. That's how language learning should be. It should become second nature. If you make it a daily habit, it will become part of your life, and you'll be amazed at how quickly you start to understand and speak. So here's your action plan. Forget about grammar for now. Immerse yourself in the language. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Those mistakes are your stepping stones. Start speaking from day one and practice every day. Think in the language, not translate from your native one. Make language learning part of your daily routine, and soon you'll be speaking like a pro.